Welcome to So Random and Weird podcast. We are your hosts. I am Sheena Olszewski.
And I'm Sarah Latham.
And we are bringing you a variety type podcast where we handle various different topics like paranormal, pop culture / current events. What else are we doing? History. Myths and legends, and we get a free space to do whatever we want. And so at the end of this episode, I will spin the wheel of chance and see what my next topic will be in 2 weeks. And so, Sarah, how are you? How have you been this week?
I'm okay. Period start of football. So that's been interesting. 3 days of it, and it was all like this intense running around. So he Petty. That's like shower, go. Don't even don't sit down, just go.
Right. And then, of course, I happen to be the single, childless, fun auntie of our group. In fact, funnily enough, Sarah and I have known each other since we were 6 years old.
First grade?
Yeah, first grade, which is a great story to introduce to everybody, kind of explain who we are as people.
Yeah. We can definitely do that. Should I tell the little background of how we met, why I called?
Well, let's just start with this. Okay. For me, I was starting first grade for the second time because my parents had put me in so young. And so I, being the brat that I normally am, was not happy to be there. And then this girl came up to me and she goes, "Hi, Nicole." And I'm like, "I'm not Nicole." And I kind of probably stomped off and was like, and go ahead, Sarah.
So my parents were excited to find out that a friend of theirs, her daughter was going to be in my first grade class. And they were so excited, and they're like, "Oh, Sarah, her daughter's going to be in your class, and, we're such good friends." And I'm thinking, "Oh, yay, I'm going to have a friend right away." And they're like, "Her name is Nicole." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So when I got to school, I met this girl who seemed nice, who was, kind of, shy and quiet, but, she seemed like she was going to be a good friend. And I'm like, this must be Nicole because I'm destined to be friends with Nicole. Like my parents are friends with her mom. So I went up to her and I'm like, "Hi, Nicole. I'm Sarah." And then I get this, "I'm not Nicole." And I was like, "That's weird. Why would she not call herself by her first name?" And I think I continued to call you Nicole, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And I was like, "I'm not Nicole. My name is Sheena."
Well, see, I couldn't comprehend that because I was supposed to be friends with Nicole. But yeah, that's how our friendship ended up starting with.
Yes, our beautiful, beautiful, we're not going to say how long friendship.
Yes. We can definitely be, zennials, but we don't have to say how old. I think I'm choosing to go back down. I really am. I can't keep going up. The idea is horrible to me.
Yeah, well, I'm the one with the birthday next between the two of us. So
that's true. But I just had mine, so of course I am over the idea of it. It's like, okay, it's done now, it's gone. But come next March, April, I'll start crying again.
So my topic is I decided to go first, and I picked paranormal because I am the weird, creepy friend. You know, the one who's always in black, who's always got like 10 ghost stories ready to go, or true crime stories. And I was also the creepy kid who was really into like, are you afraid of the dark? I watched The Crypt Keeper with my dad. One of my first movies I can remember is Nightmare on Elm Street. So I was just destined to be that weird, creepy kid.
I did like some of those Are You Afraid of the Dark, though. I have to say, some of them were pretty cool.
Yeah. Or what's that one book? Stories to Tell in the Dark or something like that, where they have the like really super creepy pictures in them.
Yeah, that we got like at the book fairs, right? I can get this at the book fair.
I never bought a damn thing, but I always wanted to. So, my first item that I am introducing to you today is Black Eyed Kids. Now, Black Eyed Kids creep me the fuck out. Okay?
I've never heard of them. I've never heard of it. So,
well, be prepared. And towards the end, I will tell you my own kind of story that kind of goes along with this. So, you've never heard of them. A lot of people that I have talked to have not heard of them. Also, side note, everybody, I am originally from New Jersey. My parents are both from New Jersey. So, growing up, this is how I learned how to talk, even though I now live in Idaho.
Yeah, talk. Yeah, we hear you talk. Go ahead. Jersey.
So, I just want to put out there that I used a few different places to look up pbs.org. What's up? They have a thing called Monstrum, and they had a little video from somebody, and then also I used Atlas Obscura, and then whatever random stories I could pull up to do that. So I want you to picture it. 1922, Sicily. Just kidding. It's actually 1996 in Abilene, Texas. There is a writer for their newspaper. His name is Brian Bethel. And of course, he finishes his late shift and is writing a check for his cable bill. How 1996. So while he's sitting in his car writing his cable bill, he starts to feel like, those prickles in the back of your neck that go up when something just not right is happening.
Yeah.
So then he looks up from writing out his check, and he sees a couple of boys that come up to his window. Now they're wearing hoodies. He can't really see their face, but according to it, he's sick. And there's two boys. One is 9 and the other is 12. And I'm going to send you a photo real quick. Now, so these kids come up to him, and he can't see anything really, except for these kids are in the hoodie. And they ask him to take him home, or take both of them home, so that way they can go home and get money to go see Mortal Kombat. But looking at the time, because you remember how they used to have them up on the what do you call it? The
dashboard?
Yeah, the boards that they had for the movies.
The movie showtimes. Yeah, the showtime
Yeah.
board.
Well, that movie had already started 45 minutes ago. So they're sitting there and trying to convince him in there, and he's like, the movie's already halfway over. And while he's doing this, he kind of feels the need to open his door. But thankfully he had already locked his doors before getting in. And so he keeps having that feeling of wanting to let them in. But somehow they adjusted and the light came up. Like the hoodie came off a little bit, and they could see that he had black eyes, completely black eyes.
Ew, ew, ew.
Like in the photo I just sent you.
So, quick question. How do I see the photo?
I just sent it to you in Messenger.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, okay. So they're talking to him like normal, that normal conversation.
Mister, let me in. I just want to go home and get money to see the movie.
Okay. But so they're talking like normal to him, but
Not really.
they have black eye. Well, but I mean, like, but they're talking like they're talking. Ew.
Right.
Ew, no.
But they're also saying things like, and then because he's like, nah, the movie's already over, kid. Like, you should really just go home. And then they start banging on his window. And they're like, it's not like we have a gun or anything. We're just two kids.
Oh, no. Nope.
Stuff like that.
No to creepy kids. No to creepy kids.
So even though, he's tempted to open up his door because of their pleading, but all of a sudden his brain is like, no way, bitch. Turns it on and Fast and Furious is his way out. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's like a lot of the story that's with them. Usually they appear to be full-age children. There's usually more than one when this happens. They also tend to talk oddly. Either they talk like, excuse me, sir, may I use your faxophone or your telephone? And, this is the age of cell phones now. They also sometimes seem like they wear old-timey clothes as well, which, I mean, now anything goes since, kids are wearing what we wore when we were kids.
Well, they are, too. They're starting to wear our stuff.
Right.
There was this the other day at school that there was a kid who had his pants down to his knees. Like, oh no, I know that look so well.
Yeah. So they're also very monotone when they ask. They're like, please, sir, may I use your telephone? And then the thing is that they always want you to open the door to them. They can't come in unless you invite them in, like vampires. And there are times that people who have nightmares after this, little lucky for, of course, all the words just run away.
I told Mike, I said I could never watch movies that had creepy children because I actually was freaked out when I became a parent. What if my kid just one day grins at me evilly or something, or stands next to my side of the bed? Which, by the way, Aria did to my mom one time. She woke up and Aria's just standing there staring at her. My mom freaked out. So, creepy kids. I can see it in my kids all the time, and I'm like, nope. They ever get creepy? Nope.
I'll kick them right out the door.
Nope.
So another story is one of where there is a lady who actually lets them in. So
You'd say they let them in?
And what it was is that it was in the middle of a storm. And they had a storm. So of course, snow all around. So most likely the kids would have had a snow day. And so she let them in and they're like, can we use the bathroom? So she showed them where the bathroom was, and her husband all of a sudden stands up and his nose is just gushing with blood.
Ew. Oh God, ew.
So then she sits over there and she's like, lets the kids, they come back and then they sit on the couch, and like the cats that they have were acting like really like just ran like my cats normally do.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she's getting a headache. And then suddenly you see the kids. Hi, Rhiannon. Are you trying to be part of the show? Yeah. Being one of those creepy kids. Anyways, so she goes and she makes some hot cocoa and is like trying to talk to them, but they like just sit there and stare at her. And then all of a sudden they go, her parents are here. And so then she goes to open the door and there are two strange men in black. So men in black suits and with a black car waiting for them. And they like,
Okay. So wait a minute. So, okay. But like, were the men, were they like, what, like, were they men, like, were they like realish? I mean, were they like,
no, it doesn't say. They said it was two tall men in black suits.
and then what, I mean, did the kids go with them? I mean, did it say?
Now get this, though, later on, like shortly afterwards, their cats, one of their cats died from cancer. And the other one ran away and never came back. And then the husband also developed a brain tumor and passed away from that. And I think, I can't remember the end of what happened to the lady. I think she also ended up with cancer as well. The thing is that what do they want? Is the real question. Why are they coming around? I mean, of course, they're creepy enough that we're sitting here going, no. Especially us Zennial millennials, Gen Xers are like, no. We just don't let people right into our houses.
Well, I mean, most people, I mean, I think as a kind, compassionate person would, I mean, I think they would be like, oh my gosh, they're two kids that, need help, whatever. But I don't know. Obviously I'm not just going to be like letting people into my house. I mean, I don't know, especially if they talk like that. And then of course the eyes, if I saw the eyes, I'd be like, no, see ya.
And the thing is that we don't know what they really want either.
Yeah.
So, and
they seem to cause destruction. I mean, obviously death, destruction. I mean, it's not happy. It's not a happy result. I mean, people dying from cancer, people, cats dying from cancer, running away. I mean, that's not
cool. And that ain't cool.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of other stories as well. There is the Panic Chase, which is over the pond in England. What it is that it is a murder of 3 local girls, and they think that it's the ghost of those girls that were there. Of course, there's lots of YouTube videos that you can find. There was one thing when I first heard about Black Eyed Kids, that they said that there was this guy that he would play a sound that would bring them to you. And I'm like, no.
He would play it on purpose to bring them?
But it turned out to be a hoax.
Okay. I was gonna say,
But
because
I didn't hear that until recently, so I always had that in my head, like, please
yeah,
don't be playing the sound,
like the Pied Piper of black-eyed kids.
right? What? And so the question is what are they? I mean, this is an urban legend, so, what is it really? Of course, you have things like demons, which one of my favorite things is Supernatural to watch. Love Supernatural. I will watch it over and over again, but I will not watch season 15. When I watched it, finally, I cried so hard my face recognition couldn't recognize me. A good question is are they changeling? Are they fae children that were switched out? Which, of course, is something else that we can talk about on another episode. My favorite, are they vampires? Because, you can't invite them in. That's the only way they can come in is if you invite them in.
True too. I mean, you would think with although they say that, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done my research on them, but like ghosts, if you invite them with you, like if you, come with me, they will, they won't just follow you. But then I've heard that they do, or maybe it's that demons that will follow you.
Anything.
But I mean,
Cats, dogs, men.
I don't know. Especially if the two men at the door were like ill-ish, like, then
Just
that would make me,
They were.
that would make me, yeah, that would make me feel like they're not ghosts because you can't have ghosts come with you to a call. I don't know.
Well, and one last thing that they could possibly be is water babies, which is something that's really big out here in the West Coast.
See, I've never heard of it. What is that?
The water babies, just the short little thing about them is usually when it came to times of like famine for the natives, because that would just be another mouth to feed, they would throw them off into a lake or a river off of like a cliff, which is something else that we can also research for another time. So, and then why does this bother us so much? Well, definitely it's taking on about the whole innocence of kids. This is not normal children behavior. That kids are usually generally seen as weak and sweet. And then also they think that this could have been brought up to the rise of the child villain, like The Omen, like in the 70s when we started with those horror movies, or Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Also, the eyes are the windows of the soul. So, when you look into somebody's eyes and all you see is black, not only is it just that it's going to crap out of you, but eyes are your communication. If you're looking side to side like I am right now because my cat doesn't like being alone, that's going to say, hey, I'm not comfortable. It's also a means of survival because, you can, if you see something, see people's eyes move and they're like, oh no, this is not good because they're watching something come up behind you. And then also we track movements of the eyes as an evolutionary mechanism. And it's eerie when we don't know. And that's one of the biggest things we don't know.
Well, and I think also it's like you said, the innocence when you see a little kid and little kids are so innocent and their expressions are so, the eye, like Annie said, the eyes are the gateway to the soul, and not see that in a kid, and to know that they're usually so sweet, and I love looking at little kids' eyes because they're always like so loving, and of course it's my kid who's yelling at me. But it's is not see the eyes and just to have like that darkness or that blackness and then not be like Halloween or something like that is absolutely terrifying. And knowing that, and especially then that creepy little voice, the whole combination of it, definitely terrifying.
And so with it, it comes with like the 4 main threats to us. Number 1, of course, is the obscured, unnatural eyes and gaze. Number 2 is the intergenerational conflict. The people who are like, those damn kids, get off my grass. Number 3 is the legacy of malevolent kids in horror, or changelings, the movies like Damon from The Omen, or there's even a movie called Black Eyed Kids for this. And then number 4 is the ease of the internet. This was posted in a newspaper and then it's been on the internet. And you can go into, any urban legend and anything like that, and it can be reinforced with that. So that's my book report on Black Eyed Kids. Now, my experience with this. So the one thing I hate the most is that I have my front door will be open, and it's a screen door, so you can see through it. And every time that I go shut my door at night, especially right now with the weather being so warm, I gotta bring in that cool night air. And I will sit there and literally look up at the ceiling as I'm shutting the door, because I am scared to death to see that there's some kind of black-eyed kid out there. And so one of these days, at the time, my couch was it was pointing towards the screen door, and I was watching TV. And so all of a sudden, my cats just scatter from the front door. And I look up, and there is this white face with black eyes. And I screeched.
No way.
Yes. And then I looked just a little bit closer, and it was my neighbor's German Shepherd.
My word. My God. Oh my word, that's great.
Right? I know. My neighbor was outside and he heard it and he was laughing. You scared the shit out of me. It was bad. Because
that would have freaked me out too, because when that's one of your biggest fears, and then you set at your door and your mind automatically goes to, oh my God, it's that, it's a black-eyed child and a black-eyed kid. And
exactly. I was just nope, creepy kids, nope. So that would be my bit for today. I want to introduce something called the Old Lady Rant that we'll do at the end of every episode. And it could be either one of us that does it, whoever has it for the week. And mine, we had the 90s first. I was watching a commercial, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a commercial for Delia. No, it wasn't a commercial for Delia's. It was a commercial for some solitaire, you'll win money, but you really won't win money game. And I'm like, seriously? I mean, down to the pants being wide-legged and the tops being super cropped and tight. And I'm like, Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Especially when they're like, oh my gosh, look, it's so new. Or also, I saw a video. Do you remember those shirts that looked like they only would fit a doll? And then you would put it over top? Yeah, there was a video of somebody going, oh my gosh, like Victoria's Secret, what are you doing?
Yes. Yes. I remember that. It looked like a doll shirt or something. And I was like, what is that?
And I'm like, I know exactly what that is. Put it on. So, yeah, that is just, And the thing is, though, is they also will get it in nicer fabric than we did. Okay, that's just not fair. As somebody who is very touch sensitive about cloth, and when I saw some of that, I was like, oh, I just remember the ick I would get from feeling the clothes and then looking at like the clothes a little bit more, and I'm like, it's actually really nice. Oh,
yeah, there was
seriously,
definitely certain textures that we wore back then they're just not, they were not comfortable.
we're not. And so let's see, we will be back next week with your turn.
Yes.
With you got the random pick of pop culture.
I'm excited for my topic.
Yes, what is your topic going to be?
Well, kind of going on an old lady rant of my own. It's going to be about slang. The slang nowadays, that, you know what, as I'm as I'm researching this topic, my husband knows some of the slang. And he's like, I was like, he works with this one girl who, just loves the Kardashians, and let me just, that could just be a whole rant right there, for me. But, I said, what are some things that she says, and and some of the, and this to get some ideas, and because I'm trying to like get like this encompassing view of how kids and younger people, like kids, speak nowadays. And like he's like telling me like, oh, well, you know about this word, and and I'm like, no. And then my husband's like, wait a minute, you haven't heard this word? And I'm like, no. And he's like dumbfounded. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a Zennial. How do you know these words? I mean, like, I don't know these words. I don't know what these, So he's like, so he knows a lot of them. And I'm like, okay, am I just truly old here, or what's going on? This is disgusting. If my husband, who's older than I am, knows them. So maybe I'm just out of the loop, but.
Well, I just spun the wheel of chance, and I will be doing myths and legends for mine.
Great, myths and legends.
Yeah. So, also, we want to put it out there. We are interested in doing listener stories. So, for anybody who's listening, if you want to send us a message or an email, we are going to be on YouTube. We have our email, which is sorandom_and_weirdpod@gmail.com, where you can send that in. We have a Facebook, which is also So Random and Weird. And you can always find me. We have an Instagram as well, So Random and Weird Pod. And you can find me on Instagram if you want at sheenam.monster. And Sarah, is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram too, but I can't tell you my name because I don't go on it a whole lot. But I do have an Instagram, and of course I have a Facebook. But and I think I have like I used to have a Twitter account, but when it switched over, I did my Twitter account.
I never started.
But yeah, well, because I'm always posting pictures of me with food, like here's what I'm eating today, because people care about that. Another old lady rant for later on. But
All right. Well, that was our first episode. How do you feel, Sarah?
good. That's exciting.
Me too. I'm excited. And so we will see you next week. And we're going to give you a reason to not hate Mondays so much. Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good